Hello from Hollywood. My name is Anthony Boyer. I've been a talent agent in Los Angeles for the last 15 years. And today on Take Fountain, we're going to talk about 6 things you should avoid doing if you're pursuing an acting career. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, 20% of businesses fail within the first 2 years. 45% fail within the first 5 years, and that raises to 65% within the first 10 years. And according to Investopedia, the reasons for that include not investigating the market. And in the case of an acting career, that might mean that you finally have the means to pursue your dream. And you jump in without doing any research. Maybe you move to Los Angeles or New York, but you haven't fully investigated the markets. You believe you can play any role. You don't think that you need to know your casting. You believe within the first year or two, you should just be able to drive into Los Angeles and book a lead in a Marvel movie. Or you don't identify a niche within the acting industry and fill it. So, maybe you're really good with accents. Maybe you know martial arts. Maybe you are really good at specific genres. What makes you unique? So we want to avoid not investigating the market by paying attention to where you're going to be moving, what's going on, and what makes your product unique within that market. The second reason businesses fail that you want to avoid doing is a bad business plan. Now, you want to have a realistic career plan. You want to outline achievable goals, how you can meet those goals, and what challenges you might face. You might even go so far as to actually create a physical business plan. You don't need to, but some people do. You're also going to want to estimate costs and resources. We have a great video about that. I'm going to put the link in the description below. And you want to outline strategies and timelines for achieving milestones. A well thought out business plan helps you stay focused, and it helps you make informed business decisions about your acting career. Follow the plan unless it is overwhelmingly inaccurate. If a year or two in you find you need to adjust, that's completely fine. But otherwise, follow the plan until it's time to pivot. The number 3 thing that derails businesses that you want to avoid if you are beginning an acting career is a lack of financing. Limited funds make it challenging to invest in your business. You'll need to pay for headshots, you'll need to pay for classes, you'll need to pay for networking, and you want to be realistic from the start. You want to adopt a lean management strategy at the beginning. You want to explore multiple channels for funding. You want to educate yourself about financial management, and you want to be creative in finding alternate sources of income. Next thing you're going to want to avoid is bad location. Now, what do I mean by bad location? Well, in the case of a physical store, that might mean being on a street corner where there's no foot traffic, or having a store that's too big or too far away from the city center or away from your target market. Just like that store we talked about having poor visibility and no foot traffic, that can apply to your business as well. You want to make sure that you have an online presence, advertising your product to potential buyers. Social media strength can be a real value. You don't need to have a great social media game, but it certainly helps. And you're definitely going to want to have some sort of online presence. An online presence allows casting directors, agents, and potential collaborators to discover and connect with you. So you want to make sure you make yourself visible and that you're marketing your product. You want to tailor that marketing to align with the audience you want to attract, whether it's headshots, the website, your social media. Make sure that that's tailored to the audience you want to attract. It can also be effective to build a strong presence on TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube, although again, you don't need to have a strong social media game, but it can certainly help. Finally, you want to make sure that your reel and your contact information is easily accessible. If I see your content somewhere and I don't know how to contact you, it's going to make collaborating with you very, very difficult. So make sure you're generating the visibility that you need to get your product out to the market. The next reason why businesses fail that you will want to avoid if you're building an acting career is inflexibility. Do you remember Blockbuster Video? What about Sears? These used to be behemoth corporations, and insofar as they even exist now, they're shells of themselves. Because they were inflexible, they didn't adapt to their current market. You want to monitor industry trends, you want to stay on top of the trades, you want to try to figure out what's next, what's coming down the pipeline, and you want to adapt your strategy to meet the market where it is. You want to investigate new platforms, genre changes, and shifts in audience preferences. You want to read the trades. You want to be a student of the industry so that you can adapt your package, your product, to what is happening, not just now, but next. There are always going to be new platforms and shifts in genres. For instance, multicam comedies used to be on every network, every night of the week. Everyone watched them. They're a bit of a dying art right now, at least for the time being. So if you were someone who only wanted to do multicam comedies, for instance, it would be very difficult to do now. So you want to make sure maybe you're looking at single cam comedies or something else that's more common and more in the zeitgeist now. There's an actress I know who wanted to be, more than anything, a femme fatale, like a film noir femme fatale. That's not really an archetype that exists right now. So that's something that you just want to make sure that you're keyed into what is current and what is a bit out of vogue. You want to pay attention to hot up-and-coming directors, production companies. You know, who's that next A24? And just have a curiosity for the business. Being flexible and willing to pivot will help you stay relevant. The next reason businesses fail, according to Investopedia, that you'll want to avoid as you're building your acting business is rapid expansion. Now, what do I mean by that? In the past, I'm sure we all know companies that got a little bit of notoriety and started expanding very quickly, going into new markets, opening new stores all the time, and they couldn't keep up with that expansion, and the product ultimately didn't do as well, and then the company did not do as well. As an actor, there are a few equivalents to that. Once you're established, it's going to be tempting to take on more projects, for instance. There's going to be more opportunities for sure, and frequently you won't have to work quite as hard to get them. Ask yourself, can you give them the same attention and care that got you here? If you're overextended, you've done 3 or 4 or 5 movies in a row, maybe you're going to be too exhausted to deliver your best work to the final movie, or, you know, those kinds of things are questions you'll want to ask yourself. Just be very realistic. On top of that, perhaps you're an actor who wants to have an Atlanta agent and a Chicago agent and a Pacific Northwest agent and a Los Angeles agent, and they want to be in all markets at all time, but they can't invest properly in the networking and in maintaining relationships in those markets and staying on top of what's current in those markets. When the flights come in, you know, you have an audition in Atlanta that you have to get to tomorrow, you're overextended and you can't really fund that part of the venture of the business. Those are things to think about before you start going ham on adding a bunch of new stuff to the career. You just want to make sure you're researching new ventures as diligently as you did when you decided initially to start an acting career. If you're thinking about expanding into another market or into writing or into directing or filmmaking, make sure that you're bringing as much attention and care to that as you do to your initial product. So to review, these are the 6 things you're going to want to avoid doing if you're pursuing an acting career. Not investigating the market properly and your place in it as an actor, having a bad business plan or no plan at all, a lack of financing, being in a bad location, perhaps one where there are a lack of acting jobs or not having visibility to your market, inflexibility in your business decisions, and rapid expansion. Thank you so much for watching. If you got value out of this video, please click the thumbs up button. Click subscribe and the notification bell. That way you get alerted every time we put out new content. I'm gonna leave some links to resources in the description below. Thank you for watching. Take Fountain. Thanks for watching. If you got value out of this video, thank you so much for watching. If you got value out of this video, please click the thumbs up button.